Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a garden walkthrough. I'm just going to walk around my yard and show you what I have and kind of talk about what needs to be done in the garden. So we start off with my citrus tree. I believe this is my orange tree. And it is right behind my chicken coop, so it gets plenty of nutrients and things that it needs. We move on to my mint. This is my spearmint plant. I love spearmint. It's one of my favorite herbs. This is a little dried out from the winter. I need to trim it up. But overall, it's still healthy. It's still alive. This bed here is my sweet potato bed. It is a volunteer bed of sweet potatoes. We planted sweet potatoes here a long time ago. And well, not a long time ago. Let me say closer to like 8 months ago. And we harvested those potatoes and left the bed empty, and it actually made a whole nother field of sweet potato. Here is a pineapple that is getting ready to bear fruit. Super exciting because pineapple don't bear fruit all that often. It takes a long time for it to produce fruit. Here's a papaya tree. Fun fact, papaya trees are male and female. So this is actually a male papaya tree and you won't get any fruit, but it has nice flowers. There's a couple more pineapples, and then this is for reference. The middle of this is not bearing fruit, so you can see like the difference between that one and the one that is getting ready to send fruit. Over here in this bed, I have like a little hodgepodge of things going here. There's basil in this pot. The basil is going to flower, which I don't mind too much because bees are enjoying it. So got to keep the pollinators happy. And then a little bit further down here, we have some sticks from our cherry tree. We have a Barbados cherry tree, and we trimmed it up, kind of getting ready for spring, and we took some of the limbs from our trimming and we just stuck them in the soil of this pot, and they're actually springing new leaves. So that means something is happening root wise. We just aren't going to dig it up to see, but we can see new leaves are being produced here on the stem, so that's really, really exciting. We're going to like duplicate our tree. This is the cherry tree I'm talking about here. So we've had this tree maybe 3 years now, and it produces tons and tons of Barbados cherries, which are delicious. The tree itself has new buds on it, so those limbs that we trimmed off are kind of mimicking what the actual plant is doing, what the mother plant is doing. So very exciting. I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. I think we'll end up taking the basil out and leaving those limbs in the pot so that they're not disturbed too much. Here we have some tomatoes. This is the pink Ozark tomato, I believe, from Baker's Creek. These were planted a very long time ago. They were neglected, and then they were cared for, and they were neglected again. So I'm just happy that they're still alive at this point. Random avocado seed that we planted. Here's that sunflower. I told you I randomly just throw sunflower seeds in these block holes and I let them grow up and I feed them to the chickens. Here are the green beans. They're doing good. And here I'm doing what's called deep watering this garden bed. It looks like I'm overwatering, but I promise you I'm not. Our soil here, even though I amend it and we try to help it as much as we can, is still very dry. So we have to deep water at least once or twice a week. Here are some pumpkin seeds. This is the calabaza squash, or the Seminole pumpkin. And since the babies have started solids, they really, really like that pumpkin. So we're growing it so we can have some organic ones from our yard. Here are my green onions. These are one of the easiest things to grow, and we use them a lot. So we planted a lot of them, and we still have more than we're actually using. So plant some green onions. Those are the mustard greens that were harvested from already, and that's what they look like now. And then here in this block hole, I just sprinkled some more of those mustard seeds in. And those will be ready to transplant in maybe a couple weeks. And then for the turnips, I sprinkled some turnip seeds in these 2 block holes. And they didn't germinate quite as well as the mustard seeds did, but I'm going to sprinkle some more in there just so I can have enough to make another, decent harvest of turnip greens. And this garden bed is what we call our medicine garden. I have more spearmint here. I have a lot of dead limbs. But I also have a very important herb called Old Hut that is native of Jamaica. And I actually tried to do like the plant identification app on this, and I wasn't able to identify it. So I don't know what it's called scientifically or like another name for it. But in Jamaica, it's called Old Hut, and we use it as a cold bush. And it's really good for breaking fever, for eliminating mucus, for fixing like respiratory issues and boosting your immune system. It's really just like the amazing plant. I have more dead limbs here. And then over here I have vervine. This is a blue vervine. This one is really good. It's a really good medicinal herb as well. Right here I have my Cuban oregano or Chinese thyme or beef thyme. It has a bunch of different names, but it has a really, really good flavor when you cook with it. So I have just a little in there. Here's more vervine. So kind of at a standstill on what I want to do with this garden. It looks rough, but it still has a lot of really good plants growing in it. I just want it to look prettier, so I'm gonna keep watering it. Maybe it'll look better on its own. Here is a guava tree. A few years ago, I held a garden club at the school I teach at, and one of my students, he ate a guava, planted the seed, and brought in the little seedling to me. And he was so excited when he brought it to me, saying, I grew this from a seed from a guava that I ate, and I want you to have this. So he gave it to me, and this is one of my most prized plants. And then let's see, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, we were able to eat guava from it. It looks like we have some new buds here. If you look real close, it looks like some little buds are happening here, which is fitting for spring. Everything is going to start springing and looking all lively again, because right now it looks pretty bare. There's a papaya tree that's dead. Right here is my sweet sop, or I think it's called sugar apple or sweet sop. I planted this from seed a while back. It's starting to spring back. Here is another dead papaya tree. This was a male tree, so it's okay that it died. This is mountain guava. This is actually three small trees planted together. It looks really good. It did really, really good this winter. It didn't burn or dry out. It's still really nice. Here's another papaya tree. It was a male tree. And then this papaya tree was a female tree. We've actually been eating from this one. We've gotten, I think, 3 papayas from that one. And then here is a kneesberry tree. Here's some of our sugar cane. And then here in this bed is my sweet potato. This is the traditional American orange sweet potato. And it's covered with chicken wire because something kept nibbling on all the new sprouts. So as the leaves sprouted up, something nibbled them off. So we covered it with chicken wire to kind of protect it. This is actually a trellis I made a few years back. I did a DIY video about how to make a trellis with chicken wire and wood. So you guys can see it held up pretty good. And then these are my new sprouts that are protected now from chicken wire. As soon as they get a little bit bigger, I'll be able to take the chicken wire off and let the sweet potatoes do their thing. Here in this pot, birds like to sit on the little thing that's holding this pot up, and I guess a bird either dropped it or something, but these are they're bird's eye Thai chili peppers, and they are extremely spicy, but they're volunteers because I've never even purchased those seeds, so that's really cool. Here is some rosemary. This is cologne mint. This is another mint that is from Jamaica. Here is a pineapple top. This is how we start our pineapple. So we take the tops off. We put it in this tire. This tire has a little water in it. And once they spring roots and they look like they have like a good root system, we put them in the ground. So all of the pineapples that we have, or the pineapple plants that we have, were started this way, and then they end up growing and producing fruit. Here are my ladies. There's Lynx and Poppy. There's Luna, Pepper, Belle. We can tell Belle because she has feathers on her feet. We have a few black chickens, but Belle, we know. She's bigger and she has feathers on her feet. There's Luna. She's all gray. She's a sapphire gem. Here's Roe, one of my roosters. I have 3 roosters. And there's Lynx. Lynx has a twin. Her twin's name is Coco. They're equally mischievous. And I have a few ladies hanging out up here. My 2 Easter eggers. And Coco. There's Coco up there. There's Poppy. And there's Whitney. I call her Whitney because she's always singing. She's a noisy bird. Very noisy bird. Roe is actually a rooster we hatched ourselves like 2 years ago. And this is Browning. Browning is a family favorite. She's a Rhode Island Red. She was gifted to me from a friend. And she honestly can do no wrong. She is spoiled and she knows it. Well, that kind of wraps it up for this video. Remember to subscribe, like this video, hit the notification bell, and until next time, bye!